Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Nat. We're going to make a little fun fold card today using the Flower Shop embossed die cuts and 6x6, which are super pretty, super florally. If you don't know, the embossed die cuts have sort of a little bit of embossing along the lines of, well, if you think about putting a little bit of glossy accents on here, there and everywhere, like on flowers and that sort of thing. We have a live voiceover. Clearly not now, but we're going to leave you with that and we're going to make a fun fold, as I said. Okay, so we're making a little, like a triple easel card, and I've adapted this a little bit. I will leave on my blog, I will leave a link to, well, on my blog I will leave measurements for the American peeps, because I've mentioned this before, the cards are a little bit shorter and a little bit wider sort of thing than our card. So as you can see, I've already scored this, but I will do that again for you. So what you need, this is just an A4 piece of cardstock, and it is cut in half to be like top folding. You can't really, it doesn't really fit into the card, let's go that way. It would normally be two top folding cards that we would just fold this in half, okay? But I have scored this at 2.5 centimeters and 16.2 centimeters. I basically did that so I didn't have any other, you know, some of the cards that I've seen, they come up short, so these two pieces match. I didn't want that. So we have, so this is 29.5 centimeters long by 10.5 wide. As I said, it's half of an A4 cut lengthways, not our usual, what's the other word? The lengthways, shortways? No, that's not it. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about for the usual side folding card here in Australia. You're also going to need two other pieces of cardstock. We have one that is 13 by 4.5 centimeters, and we have another one that is 10.5 centimeters by basically inch, 2.5 centimeters. So 10 by 2.5 and 13 by 4.5. These are pretty much all you need apart from pattern paper. Pattern paper, I have picked out these because they're super pretty, and I'm going to use the offcuts that we have for this one. Not going to use any of that. And I have picked out this one. And you need 3 of these, which are going to be 10 centimeters by 13 centimeters. So you're going to want one for the front of your card and the two insides. Okay, so we're going to cut those down. So here's our panels. So that leaves us with little strips which fit in perfectly with our next piece. You're going to need 2 pieces of pattern paper, which is basically offcuts, which is going to measure, which one is it going to measure? This is the 10 centimeters by 2.2 centimeters. So one is going to go here. Actually, I think I'm going to do it the other way around. That one's going to go there. So it's a little tiny bit shorter than what we've got, and that one's going to fit there. The other piece you are going to need is, now I've just taken, again, it's a little bit of the offcut of this. As you can see, it's about there. Fits about there, so I've trimmed off a little bit down here. So you do need to trim a little bit off, as I mentioned. So this particular one is 4 centimeters by 12.7 centimeters. And he's going to go there. So what I thought, I need to get some ink, because I thought we might ink this for a change. So I think we're going to go a grungy sort of look. So let's pull this, get my mat, and we're just going to ink around, this is walnut stain, around the edges just a little bit. And I'm going to do that with, I think I'll do that with all of my papers. Be right back. Okay, so let's glue these down. So we need one of these onto this. And this is going to be the buffer, so to speak, of our easel card. So this is what the stand, if it actually will go straight. Have I cut that crooked? I may have cut that crooked. So we will tie that up in a minute. Just try and get my bottom straight. This one is going to be the part that is going to stand upright. So give him a bit of glue. Don't go too crazy on the glue because I just did it before and I've got glue oozing out everywhere. So we will need to, the royal we, I will need to clean that up. This card is pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's just later on when you go to put the papers onto the card, just be wary of which way they go. I've got a little bit of writing here. So let's have a little bit of a, so my flowers, which I first thought they were butterflies. So that goes up that way, okay? And the writing is pretty simple because it's 24.94. Okay, so we have folded all our pieces in to be valleys. So if you look at that, it goes down. That one goes down. If it was going that way, they would be mountains, okay? So we want them all to be valleys. This is our front. So we're gonna pick which one we want for the front. And I want this one, I think. And glue this one on here. So how are we? What are we doing? What's going on in your world? Me, nothing. Just the usual. Work, and a bit more work with a little bit of play. So he's going to be our front. So there's nothing really that's going to go on that, but we are going to hide it a little bit. So then we've got this piece, which school is back. Not that I have a uni student now, rather than a school student. So then this one, what we're going to do is, should we do the front? Let's do the front inside. Okay, this one I thought was super pretty. So he's going to go up here. And so when it's displayed, I'm going to try and do this way. Like, you're going to see it. You're going to see all the cards on the inside. But I thought it was rather pretty. So yeah, so I don't have to deal with that sort of thing, and he pretty much takes care of himself because he is a 19-year-old young man. Which I'm not too sure when that happened. And I know you others out there that have got kids and grandkids. Totally get it. This one has, I can read New York. I don't know why I can't say that word every now and then. It's 2 words. It's not that hard. I don't know. But my tongue always sort of trips on it when I actually say it together. I know, I'm weird. I can't help it. Some words we can't just say. There's a few other ones that I can't say, like, I have to think about this for a second. Suspific? No. I can cite it to you. Like, you know, you want a particular ink. I can't say it. I just can't say it. It doesn't work with me. But you know, I can't find my scissors now. My craft desk is a bit of a mess. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to cut off a few of those. So yeah, so let me know, what words can you not say? It's weird, but I cannot say them for the life of me. So I am going to do a few down here, because I didn't want any sort of warping or anything. I was just thinking there was another word that I can't really say apart from New York, which I did it. There was another word that I can never pronounce. I mean, there's plenty of words that I can never spell. Heaven knows that's the case. But yeah, I digress. Sorry. So we have raised this up with some foam tape. These are very thin profile foam tape, and so I have doubled it to give it some nice, strong, sturdy, something nice, strong and sturdy to stand on. I like for the easel part to stand on. My ruler. So I'm going to place this pretty much down near the bottom, I think, and just eyeball it. There we go. Okay, so that's going to stand up there. The next thing we're going to do is on the top of this, I'm going to put a strip, again double-sided, foam, double depth foam, and I'm going to place it up the very top, because what I want is, I've got a bit of stringy glue. There we go. What I want is just a little bit, get off, of gap between everything. I think I need to fill up my glue. So I'm going to roughly eyeball it from the top of the card and left and right of the card. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you want it to be lined up to the score line. Or if you did this way, I probably should have done one length because my card is going to be a little bit bulkier, but that's okay. Can I fix it? Yes, okay. So I'm going to pull this off and just do one thickness of foam tape. So I will be right back with that. Okay, so here is glue down. So all I did was only because that when I folded it, I didn't think about how deep that's going to be. It's still going to have some depth to it, so you don't want it too much. So you need a relatively thin profiled foam dot. I am now, I wasn't too sure if we should use the Vintage Label 1 or Vintage Label 2. I was thinking, I did drag it out, Vintage Label 2, because I'm going to cut one of this off as well, and then we shall figure out which way we're going to go. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've decided to pivot, and we're going to go this one. So for the time being, that's still drying because I put a little bit too much glue on it. So what I'm going to do is, I've got this sentiment, swishing and sending, and I already had some little bits and pieces cut out. So we're going to use a sending you a happy birthday. That's the plan. So what I'm going to do, I think I will raise this up a little bit because, you know, you can't get enough. Dimension is it. Is it in a bit. But I have to be aware that most of my sentiment, most of my image is not going to be, well, not most of it. Most of it's going to be actually adhered to the label, but some of it is not. So you have to be aware of that. So we're going to put this on my craft mat. Take these all off. You should see the mess I've got around me. Oh my goodness. Just make sure that's all straight. This one I thought across the bottom, so I need a little slither down this end. So I picked out this one, and it was pretty hard to pick out what I wanted. Okay, so I've got a tiny bit of foam on this side, and get my other. This is Paper Rose liquid glue, and I just put that into a finer bottle, and it works really well. Really well. For all those fine little things that we deal with. I'm just going to use my grid line to do that. So what we're going to do is close all this up. I need something heavy, so excuse me, we'll put that there. What the next thing, I want to eyeball this roughly in the middle. So we're going to put a bit of a strip of foam. I don't want anything too thick. Should I just glue it, or should I put a bit of foam? I think I'll just glue it. Open the glue. Put a line of glue down the right hand side and take that off for a second. Just put that on my grid line to make sure it is pretty straight. So he's all centered, so we can open this up, and I have my sanding, which I was thinking of just putting that in the middle there. Let's straighten that up. Sanding that there. Yes, and then I've got a few butterflies, which I thought we could just adhere here and there. I don't want to go too high with him because here, let's close that up and just get the idea of the whole thing. So he was up there somewhere, sending. Yeah, so this butterfly, we're just going to trim. He's got a little tag from manufacturing, so we'll trim him off. Just going to put a little bit of glue down the center of him. I think I'll go that way. And this used to have a little bit of wriggle room until you press it down. When you press it down, that's it. I'll glue this one think going that way. This one going this way. So it's got a little bit of grunge with the embossing. Not the embossing, the sanding around the edges. And then this one I just need sort of from the end of the E up to the end of the N. So just put little dabs of glue. This is pretty good. It's not exactly, yes, not exactly, it's not super fine. So the front of it is a little bit busy, and you could certainly, I can actually do I'll put a little blob of glue underneath the G too, because he is going to be able to sit flat anyway. So he's a little bit busy on the front, but then we have yeah, I hope you like what you see. Then that just folds up, that folds in. You could write there, you could write there. I'm probably inclined to write there. And that is it. That is my card for today. I hope you're well. Take care, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.